This is Marketing Jam, a podcast featuring the brightest minds in Canadian marketing. Here's your host, Darian Kovacs.
We are here with Farhan Mohamed, an amazing guest. He is the editor-in-chief and partner at Daily Hive, also used to be known as Van City Buzz, if you remember. He is a past student of both SFU and CapU, and we're excited to have him here today at the show on the couch to answer some questions and tell us a bit about the future of all things editorial. First of all, I just want to thank our sponsors, two of them, Cyber Impact. They actually hail from Quebec, in case you didn't know this. You've heard of MailChimp, you've heard of Constant Contact, but Cyber Impact is the Canadian alternative to email marketing. Check them out at cyberimpact.com. And the second sponsor I want to thank is our friends at Dash This, also out of Quebec. You want to communicate what's happening with your marketing campaigns on a very concise, beautiful dashboard. Dash This is great for that. So I want to thank them for sponsoring the show. And Farhan, let's jump right in.
All right.
Tell me, Farhan, what did you read this morning when you woke up and had your breakfast cereal? What are you reading on kind of a daily news basis?
So I actually have changed the way that that I consume and the way that my morning works. I got the Google Home.
Okay.
One of the greatest things. And so I said this morning, as I do every morning, hey, Google, tell me the news. Because it's my way that I can just jump right into it. So I do my social scroll in the morning, and then Google Home, and it tells me in a minute to 5 minutes, everything that's pretty much happening in Canada and around the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So some of the people want to know, how did Daily Hive start? I know it's a very large, long-winded question, but how would you kind of give it in
I'll give you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Started in a basement in South Vancouver by two friends, and they wanted to take over the city. They wanted to write some cool stuff. They wanted to talk about what they loved, and they loved the city. At the same time, they wanted to also make money off of Google.
And what year was this?
2008, so almost exactly 10 years ago.
Okay.
This summer. And so it started from then. It was a blog back in 2008 when it was kind of that blogosphere where they were writing about everything and anything, events, cool stuff happening in the city, culture and people. And then it grew from there. Olympics hit, 2011 hit, and we started to talk about stuff that was happening on the ground and outside. You realized you didn't have to be press, you didn't have to be inside a venue to talk about what was happening. Let's tell people what's going on around the city. Let's talk about the events happening and really get them connected, because there wasn't really anyone doing that. It was, you're getting too much of one thing or too little of something, and so there wasn't anything in that really happy medium in between. And so that's where we came in, and we started talking about everything around the city. Really wanted to connect people. And then it grew from there into doing a little bit more news, and we realized people actually wanted to read that and consume it. And so we started doing more news, and we realized if we were doing things 24 hours or 48 hours after traditional, we would get more traction. And so we thought, what if we actually did more of this? And so we started doing more of it, and more of it, and more of it, to the point that we became breaking news, and we started doing things faster than anyone. And we realized that this became a new game, and we were new in town, even though we had been, many years old. And so now we've gone from being in Vancouver, we started in Calgary in 2016, 2015. Yeah. So I always lose track of time now. So we talk about a year, and to me, I'm like, that's a decade to me. So I don't even know anymore. Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, Montreal. We've got over 40 staff. We just acquired a creative agency. So now we can do pretty much everything from inception to execution, distribution, you name it, we can do it.
Wow. So I want to know something that I'm sure a lot of the viewers want to know as well. Something that you can't read online. What was that basement like? Like, we see these old photos of, like, the founder of Amazon and the founder of Apple. They're sitting in their computers. What was the basement in South Vancouver like?
So I've never been in there to date.
Okay.
Which is crazy. But I always have this one story, because there was this one girl who emailed me. It was maybe 2013, 2014, and she said, "Hey, I want to come and visit you guys, talk to you, and check out your office." Yeah. And I'm kind of thinking, how do I respond to her saying, my office is my bedroom?
Yeah. Okay.
It was that weird one where that's the way that it was. I still remember it was beginning of 2014. We opened up our first office near Gastown. We got a knock on the door, and the guy walks in, and he's trying to sell us something. And he looks, and he turns his head, and he's thinking, and he says out loud, like, "Where's the rest of your office?" Yeah. It was a little 350 square foot space. Yeah. And we said, "No, this is it. This is Van City Bus. This is HQ. This is our operations." And every single person from there has been just completely blown away. So it's been, our office is wherever we need to be. I have my computer here with me. If this needs to be my office, this is my office. I would just need your Wi-Fi password. So
Yeah, it's peanut butter, in case you're wondering. If you ever visit Fort Langley, you want to get some Wi-Fi, come buy jelly, and it's peanut butter. So what was the vibe like between you and the two other founders? What was kind of your each direction and your purposes at that point?
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants different things. Ultimately, we all have had pretty much the same end goal in place, which is build stronger community, connect our community. Don't listen to people that are bitching and complaining, or take that and try to turn it into something. We did that with New Year's Eve, and we saw that people were always doing it every single end of year. We don't have anything in Vancouver, and so we said, well, everyone always tries to empower each other and says, if you want to do something, go do it, which is what we did. So we kind of took that, evolved it into something else, and we said, well, there's no New Year's Eve celebration ever in Vancouver. There hasn't been in 10 years. What if we as a company did it? So that vibe has always been there, and we ended up doing it 2 years later. So that vibe has been there that let's just go do something. Cut that red tape. We've always tried to do that. Sometimes it ends up hurting us because it's too flatline sometimes, but on the other hand, you're thinking, let's just go faster. Let's just do it. Why are we holding back? And so we say that a lot to one another, even in the office, within our teams. If you want something, let's do it. Let's think about it. Let's plan it, execute it, do it. Like don't hold it back.
Okay. So searching through the archives of your life, Farhan, I noticed that you spent a time working for the Pacific News Group, an arm of the PNG.
PNG,
So tell me about that time and what that was like for you.
Yeah, that was summer of 2012. I needed a job. I was close to finishing. I was kind of halfway through university at CAP. Changed from SFU to CAP. I was getting my business degree, and I said I want to do something. If you're taking a step back, I was actually doing some social media and stuff. For a political campaign, and a friend of mine said, look, why aren't you doing this for school? I was taking arts at SFU, wasn't enjoying it, didn't really have any idea of what the heck I was doing in life. So I had this conversation, and they said, why aren't you doing this? And so I made the decision. I transferred to CAP, went and got my business degree, excelled at school, and so I was loving it. I was doing business, it was social media, it was marketing, it was all these different aspects. And so media was one part of it. I had always wanted to get a sense of what was happening in the newspaper industry and media, and so got a job there. I was doing some relief work in ad sales, made too much money as a early 20s kid, which was awesome because it was union, and it was so interesting to see how that company was getting run into the ground. The decisions that were being made, this mindset, it was a very old school mindset, which is one that I've never enjoyed. You know, hey, it's 9:15, let's go take our 15-minute coffee break. I'm thinking, I don't want a coffee break. I just had a coffee an hour or two ago. But no, you have to take your coffee break. But I don't want to take a coffee break. Or, hey, it's lunchtime, make sure you take your lunch. Well, I'm just going to eat at my desk because I want to get through my stuff. No, you have to take your hour break. I'm thinking, no, I don't want to take my break. I don't need it. I'll take it when I need to. That's not how it worked there. So it was so interesting to get that insight. What was funny is that same summer I met Carm for the first time, one of the co-founders. We went for lunch, and it was just a conversation. We had followed each other on Twitter for years. We met for the first time, and I was talking about a little bit of what I was doing and seeing. The job ended that summer, end of summer. That same fall, Postmedia put their paywall up across the board. I sent him a message. He sends me a message back. We're getting back and forth. Next thing I know, I'm sitting at a table and we're chatting about what I can be doing with Vancity Buzz.
Wow. And so your first role with Vancity Buzz, what was it at that time?
It was more on the biz dev side, on the sales, because that's what I'd been doing at PNG, and I figured, there's so much opportunity. What I didn't realize was that Vancity Buzz back then was a passion project. It was something that no one was really working on full time. And
Carm was an accountant, is that correct? For blends? Okay.
So everyone had a part-time, or they had a full-time, this was their part-time, this was that side of the desk, that passion project. We would meet, this is the coolest thing, we used to meet once a week, every Monday at 6 o'clock.
And is Manny in the picture yet?
Everyone's in the picture. We even some people that we still have today that are full-time with us. And we would meet once a week. We would sit down for about 2 or 3 hours, sometimes a little bit longer, talk about what kind of stories we want to write, what kind of sales we want to go after, pretty much talking about every single thing that we were doing. And that was it, once a week for a few hours. That's kind of how the company started building up. And that's how it was back then.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And when you saw working at P&G, what were some of the things that you saw that you thought coming down the road? Like, why didn't you want to stay there versus going to work for
I felt
Daily Hive?
like I saw those levels that you had to go through. I saw that not necessarily the red tape, but
Yeah.
you had to get approval for an approval for an approval.
Okay.
There was so much process there.
Yeah.
People didn't understand technology, having to help others. Hey, can you help me build a PowerPoint presentation? Well, you should know how to build a PowerPoint presentation, but you shouldn't because you've been there for so long. Fine, I get it.
Yeah.
And so coming into Van City Buzz back then, it was such a breath of fresh air that everyone just wanted to get it done. We all have the same idea, had the same vision.
Yeah.
So I came in and we saw all these different processes that weren't in place.
Yeah.
Back then, if you wanted to publish something, you just wrote it and published it.
Yeah.
But that's how it was back then. We didn't have people that were monitoring the site day to day and that kind of stuff. So went in and went from a sales role to understand that aspect of it, understood the editorial and what we were trying to do there.
Yeah.
And so revamped all our system. We brought in a copy editor, had a freelance roster. We started putting all these different processes in place. Hey, you want to write something cool, write it, but someone's going to edit it. And then it's going to get published and then it's going to go on social. So it's kind of cool because that was the beginning of it, where it went from havoc all over the place, organized chaos, unorganized chaos to organized chaos to actual process in place.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, I have a memory of opening up the Province newspaper and there being, okay, you're in a Van City Buzz section.
Yeah.
So tell me about this.
Yeah, it was one of those really weird relationships, or I guess one that a couple of people had, and they said, hey, if you put some stuff out once a week, could we put this in the paper? To us, you want to give us branding in your paper for free?
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. We'll tell you what's happening every week.
Okay.
So that became a thing on A2 every single week. We got a spot on their website. We had someone that was handling it. And you would see what's happening and I think it was the buzz around town or something, I don't know.
With your logo in there.
Yeah, we got awesome coverage and awesome, it was great for us.
And they saw it as a win-win-win, like they got content, you got exposure, and the readers got great stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how did that end up ending, or was it kind of
I think it was one of those that it just kind of
never got renewed?
Yeah, it just withers away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of traditional and digital kind of new emerging media, forces merging, I'd love to hear your opinion on the Glacier Media purchase of VIA, if you have an opinion or thoughts.
Yeah. It makes sense of what they're trying to do. I've always been a big admirer of community papers.
Yeah.
And so on that side, I love what they're doing. I love what anyone who's in the community is doing.
Yeah.
It takes what we're doing. I wish we could be more on the North Shore and the Tri-Cities and the Fraser Valley.
So you think Glacier's like their local papers? Like
yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I love seeing.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's unfortunate that that's the kind of stuff that's dying.
Yeah.
To me, it's very interesting. That's the direction that they wanted to go in and ended up going in.
And that's where they put their money, right?
Yep.
You can tell where their focus is.
Yeah, you can tell. The one thing that with VIA, with others, is you kind of lose sight of what direction they're going in.
Yeah.
With others, you see it even cross-country publications that you start to lose focus. You start writing stuff that isn't in the realm of what you're writing or what you've normally been doing. And so it's really interesting to me as an outsider, in the industry, but as an outsider to look at that and try to forecast and try to predict what it is that they're trying to do.
Okay.
I look at them and other publications and other conglomerates where they're going, and you have one publication here that's publishing content. Well, we've got distribution sites all over, so why wouldn't we take that content and put it across?
Yeah.
I think it gets to a certain point where readers start to not appreciate that kind of stuff, where you're thinking, like, I came to you for a reason, so give me what I came for.
Yeah.
And so, it'll be interesting to see what happens with them.
Okay. And for you guys, is there ever a point where you were like, oh man, this is so much work, it costs so much money, it's so much risk, let's just throw up our hands and sell out to one of the big conglomerates?
I don't think the sellout would be it.
Yeah.
I think it's that constant, I know for me at least, it's that constant fight like within you and you must always feel this way as an entrepreneur, that you're thinking, I love what I'm doing, but man, this is exhausting.
Yeah.
At what point do you want to say, I just don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah.
But then I've had that many times.
Okay.
You go through it all the ways where you're thinking, there's just too much to do.
Yeah.
That mountain is just, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you see that the peak of the mountain.
Yeah.
but then all of a sudden it gets higher and
Yeah.
higher and longer, and you're
Yeah.
thinking, when is this ever going to end?
Yeah.
So on one hand, you're dealing with that, but on the other, you're thinking, look at what we actually get to do,
Yeah.
and what we are able to do. I look at New Year's Eve with us, and as an example, I look at, in 2017, we met with Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister. We met with Christy Clark, then Premier, John Horgan, now Premier. We just met with Mayor Gregor Robertson, who just announced that he's not going to be re-seeking election. So like we have the ability to do so many cool things, and that's on the political side. Then on the community side, we're able to talk to so many different people. We're trying to build the city and build the community and build the country and the world, and they're trying to communicate and connect. And so on one hand, you're thinking, man, this is exhausting. On the other, you're thinking, but look at what we're actually able to do. So yeah, you just keep fighting and fighting, and you keep doing it, and the end result is there. And so you think, why would I not continue this? Why would I not want to do that? Selling out is one where you look at thinking, why would you do that?
Yeah.
For what purpose? You have something cool that's going.
Yeah.
Why would you want to give it to someone else and say, you do what you think is best?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. So on that note, do you remember the time when people, maybe thought, oh, you're just a little blog site over there? Do you remember when the tide turned, when now, the Prime Minister of Canada is like, hey, if I want to be interviewed, I want to be interviewed by the editor of Daily Hive. Do you remember when that switch happened, when you went from those guys to those guys?
Yeah, I don't know if there's like one time.
Okay.
I feel like there have been many times along the way.
Okay.
Where you get those little wins here and there. I don't think there's ever been one gigantic one.
Okay.
I still feel like today some people look at us as a blog and think that we don't know what we're doing. I've read comments over the past few weeks that say, oh, they just must have 2 writers still in a basement somewhere. I'm thinking, we have over 40 staff.
Yeah.
Look at our masthead. Go online and you can see pictures even of our office and see people who have experience, people who are journalists, people who have we have so much experience now that it's ridiculous that we still have to fight that. But I think there's been all these little wins here where we'll break a story or we get a scoop. I still remember when Kanye was coming, but then it was canceled, but then it was back on and then it was canceled. And we got a scoop, and we had an insider who gave us some info, and we said we've heard rumors that this is what's going on. And you had traditional media who were calling us out. Yeah. This is a concert. This is not the end of the world. This is anything life-breaking and life-changing. So why wouldn't you give up a source? And we're thinking, no, we have a source. We're sticking to it. Yeah. And all along the way, we were right about it. We got called out by everyone in the city, but we were right. And so that was one. Any time that we get to interview someone, it's always kind of that one step. But I feel like for every few steps we take forward, there's always a few steps you take back. So it's this game that you're constantly playing. But so long as you think and believe that the work that you're doing is right, and that's really all that matters.
And when you say the steps back, what does that look like?
Oh, you make mistakes. Okay. I myself and between Carmen and Manny, my other partners, we don't have the journalism side. We were all business grads, so that's the world that we know, and we've been trying to make it every single day for the past almost 10 years. It's been just trying to make it. You learn a lot through public life. You put something out on social, and all of a sudden you get attacked for it. We just made a mistake recently, and you realize, okay, you got to slow down a little bit. You're moving too fast, and so I think there's a lot of things that get thrown at you, get hit at you. You got to take curveballs, and you're all day long. And so it's good though. I feel like if everything was good and fine and dandy, it would be too easy. So you have to make mistakes. And so long as you own up to it and you're transparent about what's going on, I think that's what life is all about, and that's what business is all about.
So being the show goes across Canada and people are listening to it, but let's talk about Vancouver. The Province and the Sun are our 2 big newspapers here in town. I don't know the exact number of layoffs, but I want to say it's around the 60, 70 people were laid off from those 2 newspapers. Are you finding they're coming to you for jobs to work and report for Daily Hive now?
I've had some people who've hit us up and said, hey, if you're interested, we're always looking. I think it's unfortunate because with us, we run so lean that we don't keep too many people on board, and so for every person that we bring on, it has to be strategic. It has to make sense. We're not going to bring on 5 people just because they're there. I wish we could. It's always sad when you see layoffs happening and people losing their jobs, because when you think of it, you put yourself in their shoes and think, that could be me.
Yeah.
One day your business could go, you could lose all your clients, and then what?
Yeah.
And so there's always that realization that it could happen. And so as long as you're always staying true to that and humble with that and understanding that like you're lucky in what you're doing. I'm lucky in what I'm doing. It's really cool that we get to be here and chatting. And so it's always trying to figure out that how do we create more opportunity? And I think with us being in Vancouver, we've always tried that. Everyone has said, why don't you guys just move out to Toronto, take your HQ there? We said, no, we want to do things differently. And so that's what we're trying to do is keep it all different. Try to progress forward and say, there's new areas that we want to get into. How do we bring on new people for that? How do we continue to build our numbers up? To me, we're in 4 cities right now. I want to be in 100 cities at some point. 100 cities means a hell of a lot more staff. And so there will come a time, but you have to do things in a smart way. And I feel like a lot of companies, they make the wrong moves and then the people on the bottom pay for it.
Yeah. So we're also, in light of Vancouver Courier and other newspapers actually shutting down. What does that mean to you every time you hear about another traditional newspaper shutting down? What do you think? What do you feel? And what are your thoughts on that?
On one hand, you're thinking, this is super sad. Again, I hate to see people lose jobs. On the other, you're thinking, is this your fault? Was this because of the stuff that you're doing? But then, you start to think, if it's not you, it's going to be someone else. You look at what's been happening across the country, around the world even, new publications, new outlets. They're trying stuff and seeing if it's going to work, and it does, and then they run with it. And so I feel like, it's just poor management, poor decisions. You've got people at the top that are making decisions for the bottom, thinking they know what's best, and then it gets run into the ground. So it's sad. I feel like we need more outlets. We need more publications. We need more information. And when you see outlets closing down,
24 hours, right?
And we're going to see more. I don't think this is the end of it. We're going to see more over the next few years, and it's sad.
And you guys aren't slowing down.
No, we don't have plans to slow down. We just keep going full steam ahead. Like I said, it's unfortunate. I wish there was more. We need more competition. We need more. Imagine if it was just us. It would be great on one hand, but then at the other you're thinking, no, but what are we trying to do? You want that healthy competition. If there was one team playing the NHL, they would win the Stanley Cup every single year. I don't want to watch that. So why would we want to play against ourselves?
So across Canada, is there anyone that you'd see as competition that you're like, man, they're doing a good thing over there?
I mean, everyone is competition. I think that's the one that we have to always keep in mind. I feel like in 2013, 2014, we were the underdogs. No one really, not the big guys didn't really keep an eye on us. And the next thing you know, we're at the top and we're playing in the big leagues. And I feel like the second you take your eye off the ball is the second that anyone's going to come for you. And that's our story. That's where we went from the bottom. We had nothing. We had no full-time staff. To having 2 people, to having 8 people, to 10, to 15, to 20. You start doubling every single year and you realize, whoa, we're actually huge in the city when you think of in comparison to everyone else. So I think everyone is competition. You could be competition. You'll start up a blog and next thing you know, it'll be the biggest thing. You write one story and you have 20 million views across the country, around the world. Your competition. So every single person is competition.
How do you weigh the balance? Like what's going on with PNG and Glacier and Black and all those folks, they're starting to see the wall break down between, church and state, or, advertorial and, editorial and ads, and then it's becoming, it doesn't exist anymore. But you guys from day one have figured out a nice balance between ads and editorial, I'd say. So how have you kept that balance and maintained it?
Yeah, well, I'm glad that's how it looks. That's what you see. Truth is, we've gone through a lot of changes. We went from being super gray to, not having anything transparent on the website, and that was way back, years and years and years ago, even before I was on, to having it was too black and white. Then you try to be gray again, and I think we're in this weird world right now, and it's still a struggle to see it, where sometimes you don't know what an ad is, and you think, no, this has to be an ad. They have to be getting paid for it, but they're not, or maybe they are, and you don't know. And we struggle with that, where we try to be as transparent as possible. We have labeling left, right, and center. If we're getting money for something, I want you to know that we're getting money for it. I feel like in today's world, our generation, at least I'm okay being advertised to.
Yeah.
As long as you tell me that I'm being advertised to.
Yeah.
I've always believed that good content is good content. And so if it's good sponsored content, it's good content.
Like these shoes here.
Yep,
Would
these shoes.
Would these be sponsored content?
These could be sponsored content.
Exactly.
This watch could be sponsored content. We have Lazy Boy in the back here.
Yeah.
We've got unbranding. We've got like everything could be sponsored content. And so you don't know.
Yeah.
So it's good, right off the top. Hey, thanks to our sponsors because they're the ones who are making this happen.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if you're transparent about it, if you're telling everyone, telling readers, telling consumers, this is what's happening. This is where we're getting our money from.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I hope that others are okay with that. We're always listening to see, but it's funny when you see comments. Oh, these guys must be getting paid. That's why they're putting out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, man, I wish we were getting more money from McDonald's. I wish we were getting money from these things.
Yeah.
But also, it's clicky type stuff. It's good. It's a good story.
Yeah.
Do you want to know that there's free coffee tomorrow from whichever coffee shop?
Yeah.
You should probably know that. Oh, it looks like you're getting paid. No, but you're getting free coffee. Why wouldn't we tell you you're getting free coffee?
Yeah.
So it's trying to bridge that gap between the two and have great content. I would love that all of our content has sponsors attached to it, so that we're getting paid for all the content that we have, but we're not.
Yeah.
And so I think it's continuing to get into that direction where you're trying to bridge the two, where you're trying to connect that gap and say, how do we survive as a business? We get mud thrown on us because people think that we're taking cash from everyone. We're not. But also, you as a reader are not paying us.
Yeah.
So how do you want us to get better?
Yeah.
The only way right now is through ads and getting sponsored content.
Yeah.
Oh, you like our stuff? Well, you don't want to pay us. Okay, I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah.
This is the only way that we're able to do it, and survive and make money. So, yeah, it's interesting to try to figure that one out and see which way people want. We're always listening, so we always try things out. If you don't like it, we'll listen and we'll change and we'll adapt from it, or we'll keep going. And if we believe it, we'll stop it if we don't.
Yeah. You could go the whole Wikipedia route. Every December, they do a request for donations. Get Sarah McLachlan to play some "In the Arms of the Angel," and you could be there being like, "Hey guys, we just need some sponsors."
We just
and get a nice tear going there. And
will you cry for us?
Yeah, I will cry for. I will be your cry guy. Yeah, you get a group of us crying in the background. But Sarah McLachlan, man, you don't even need crying with Sarah McLachlan. No. Yeah. So again, you don't go the Wikipedia route. You continue to have content. So what happened in the States with the whole FDA making the law, required by law that you have to say it's sponsored content now, and them now talking about in Canada about passing that law as well. Have you heard any more rumors about that? Or
I've been hearing about it for years now, especially more over the past year. I think we need it. It's a struggle for me being on the inside when you're looking at different outlets and whether it's TV or whether it's print or whether it's online, and you're thinking, just tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's where maybe this is because I'm too much in the bubble, but I look at things and I think of it from that eye. Like, did you get money for that? Because you're not telling me. I would love it if you just told me. That's it. Just tell me, and I'll be happy with that. So I would love to see it get passed.
Because I imagine you listen to news with a filter.
Yep.
Yeah. And consume magazines.
Yeah. Well, you have to as well, and it's tough because on one hand sometimes you want to turn that off and just read news for reading news. Yeah. But then on the other, you're not. You can't do that. There's no way that I could ever do that.
Yeah. Again, you don't have to say, but do you see another publication that you think is going down quickly, and is there a chance for them to kind of like right the plane if they did some changes?
I mean, I think there are so many. Yeah. I saw that at Postmedia when I was there. I think all it takes is a few moves to make. It's a matter of decisions, and sometimes poor decisions are made. We've gone through that. We get ups and downs, and so it happens to everyone. Yeah. You think and your gut says something, and then you're wrong. Yeah. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, I was quite sad. My favorite tech writer wrote for the Vancouver Sun, Jillian, and she was great. And my thoughts were, if they had just made Jillian like a tech influencer, and were unashamedly promoting Jillian to be awesome versus just promoting their own brand, I think she would have people would have realized, like, let's do some sponsored content with her and partner with her on some stuff, and then she could still make a salary and do some editorial, but kind of the both and, right? And would you say that's a balance of like editorial? Some of your writers do editorial purely, and then they do some advertorials as well? Would you say at the same time?
No. So that's the one thing that we try at least is that we have our branded style, or branded section, branded writers, and then we've got our editorial. So we try at least to keep everything distant in that way, so that you're not being influenced. You're not, you're not under the influence of anyone. Yeah. And you're straight, you're unbiased, you're writing things because you feel a certain way, because of the research that you've done. Yeah. Branded writers are branded writers. Okay. Sometimes there's a little bit of an overlap, and that comes with staffing, and you try, and that's what we try, is to keep them very different and distinct. And but then at the same time, you think, okay, well, how do we make the website read the same way? And so that's where you try to bring in the editors in place to say, okay, this is the kind of style we want, so that if you're reading everything, it all seems the exact same. Yeah. And again, good content is good content. Yeah. And so that's what we try to strive for, is say, as long as it's good, that's it. That's the starting point. Cool.
So we let some people know that you were coming on the show, and some of our viewers and folks out there, we had a kind of a constant request for, this is the question, I'm going to sum it up as best I can into what people are asking for, especially from the PR world, is people want to know, what is the best way to craft an email to you and your other editorial people that you will open it, read it, and possibly even respond?
So I feel like this is the question I get every single time.
Do you really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a bad question.
No, it's not, because it's good. How do I open an email? I should teach a class on this.
Seriously.
We should do this together then. No, I mean, I get, I get too many emails.
And do you get them on do you read them on your phone mostly?
Yeah.
Or,
it's a combination.
Combination of half
combination
and half?
of phone, iPad, laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my day I start with, I wake up and I'll delete probably 30 to 50 emails. Okay. Then I get to the office and I delete another 30 to 50. Then sometimes...
And you're just seeing them and you're just like swiping.
Yeah, it's looking at stuff like, this is just a release that's going to everyone. Yeah. The nice thing is that we have technology now. You can see who it's coming from, you can see the subject line, and then you can see the first, 5 to 20 words. Yeah. That's enough filter right there for me. If I see, hey everyone, that's probably going in the junk. If it's something that's coming direct, it means you've taken the time because you value my eyes and what we are. If it's a generic, you can see right away, is it getting BCC to you? Okay, well, so there's a lot of filters that I've developed. It's unfortunate. I wish I could read every single email.
No, of course,
but it's just not humanly possible. Yes. Otherwise, that's all I would be doing every day. And so...
But you read the Nigerian Prince ones.
Oh, those are the best.
Yeah, of course.
You have to. I mean, I'm responding to him every single time.
Yeah, he has an inheritance.
Yeah, I want that money.
Okay, great.
Someday I'm going to see a fat check coming to me that says, hey man, you've got $10 million coming your way. Perfect. I will say thank you. The years of work have finally paid off.
Yeah, good.
I mean, it's making it interesting, making it relevant. Okay. The toughest ones are putting things into pitches that make me think, A, do you know who I am? Yeah. Do you know who we are? Yeah. And do you know what we do? Yeah. If all of those, I'm reading something that's geared towards someone in their 70s and 80s. Yeah. Not to say that people in their 70s and 80s don't read us, but that's not our primary demographic. Yeah. So why would I look at that? Why would I even, entertain that? It's, thanks for passing it along. Yeah. It's not a fit. I'll try at least to say, thank you, it's not a fit, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. But if you try to look at everything we're doing, if you think, this is a fit. I know Daily Hive, I read Daily Hive, I follow Farhan, I know what he's doing, I know what he's interested in, I know what the site's doing, I know what they're interested in, I think this is going to be a fit. Yeah. But if you know nothing and you don't do that, then you're not doing your job. Yeah. And you're just pitching blindly. You might as well just throw an ad in the paper and hope someone's going to respond. Yeah.
What's your favorite types of pitches to get? Is it?
Ooh, I mean, I've got everything from fun, random in the inbox to you get a weird thing that comes in the mail, random delivery of something. The one that I don't like actually is when people spend too much money on something. I remember once, and this came from. I'm just going to call them. They came from someone, from an industry, from an agency, and I looked and I said, you spent anywhere from $50 to $250 on this. Yeah. It was cool. Yeah. There was a light up screen. There was a built-in, not a tablet, but a built-in screen, and you open this thing up and it's a box, and super cool. Yeah. Why did you spend that much money? Yeah. It's unnecessary.
They want your attention though.
They want the attention, but it's almost too much. Yeah. It's like, hey, Darian, look, there's a new car outside.
Yeah.
Here are the keys.
Yeah.
Take it for a year. Cool.
Yeah.
That's too much. I mean, that's maybe not a good example.
But there's a nice balance. You're
yeah,
saying, right?
you got to have that balance to think like you want my attention and you want me to get it, but you don't want it that much that it's over the top.
It's too creepy.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Don't necessarily. No, it's not necessarily do all the follow-ups and send multiple emails. I feel like if I don't respond to something, and this goes the case for I would say all of our editors.
Yeah.
Even, if we don't respond within 24 hours and you follow up, then cool.
Great.
Because I might have missed it. There's
Yeah.
too many emails, I might have missed it. But if I don't follow up then, I'm probably not interested.
So just leave you alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part, I do my scan. It shows up on my phone.
Yeah.
And I see. And if there's a name that pops up, if
Yeah.
there's a subject, if there's something, I will open it right away.
Yeah.
But if not, then you're thinking, okay, it's not worth it right now.
Yeah.
Again, I wish we could get to everything, but it's not possible.
Yeah. And as far as like for people going into PR or that are in PR, what's the best way for them to get to know you or for them to put a face to a name?
Social media.
Okay. Twitter, Instagram.
Twitter, like everything's open.
Slip into your DMs.
I mean, that's where it's a little bit much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I was at IKEA the other day, and you get people who are, you know, you do the picture of the ice cream because it's
obviously.
$1 ice cream.
Oh.
Why would you not eat it?
Yeah.
So you get people that are responding and like, oh, that looks so good. I wish I was at IKEA eating that $1 ice cream.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
But not like, hey, so how was that vacation you just went on? How was the beach? I'm like, that's a little bit much.
Yeah.
But it's cool because at the same time, that's what social's for. That's why my things are open.
Do you respond?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. And Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter I try to as much as I can.
Yeah.
I mean, Twitter is how I started. I miss the old days of Twitter.
Yeah.
We just actually started, this is over the past few days and few weeks, you know, everyone's been talking about a tweet up, and so now there's a conversation going around that's talking about old Twitter.
Yeah.
You've got like a thread that's 400 deep of 30 to 40 people. So it's fun.
Yeah.
I like bringing that kind of stuff up. I think social for me, I sometimes get into these weird chirpy moods.
Yeah,
and not chirpy in the sense like I'm going to attack you. Chirpy like I'm going to poke fun at every single thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, to me, social's that outlet where I can go to and you just have fun with people.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this 400 thread started.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to CC 40 people or however many.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it turns into a big conversation because everyone's thinking what's going on.
Yeah.
Do that with Instagram and it's fun. I think social is that thing that it's not my alter ego. It's I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah. LinkedIn? Do you like when people message you there?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Do you even read those?
No.
Okay. Facebook Messenger?
No.
No. Don't message you there.
No.
Okay. Do you check your messages there?
Actually, Facebook rarely.
Okay.
I went back in time and I saw from months ago that I got something that I should have read, and I didn't. It's tough, you know. We've got Slack, text message, Messenger, WhatsApp, email, phone call. There's Instagram, Twitter,
mail.
LinkedIn. Yeah, snail mail. So I've got at least 10 different ways for you to get in touch with me.
Yeah.
If you look at my phone right
Bananagrams?
now, what is that?
The guys come and they sing you a song and they like bananagrams, right? Never had a bananagram? No. Guy in a banana suit and he's like, hey Farhan, I got a song for you. Here's a message. Do. Really?
I know what I'm getting for Valentine's Day now.
So in case any watchers and listeners out there, Farhan has never gotten a bananagram. So any bananagram fans out there, especially if you're in PR, this is a man in need of a bananagram. Bananagram, just for clarity there. Sorry, keep going.
Do you have a banana suit?
I might just happen to have a banana suit. I can show you after this, for bananagrams, obviously.
I know someone who has a banana suit.
Really?
I'm going to hit her up.
Yeah, be like, yo, why haven't you hooked me up?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's for a very important message.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You can't do it for everything.
No.
Like that's maybe like once every, 2-3 years?
Oh yeah, and for very elite special people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you saw my phone, anytime my phone is sitting there and it lights up and, you know.
Do you have your phone on you?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you because this is, like, look, this is.
Whoa, you put notifications on everything?
I mean,
Gmail, Slack, and Instagram I've seen a lot of.
Yeah,
okay.
so this is just what my.
Whoa.
Like, there's red dots everywhere.
Do you ever clear your red dots?
No, I can't. I try. I can't.
Never? Okay.
Nothing is on those second screens.
These are you ignore these apps, right? That you just download.
That's like
them
my banking stuff, my coffee.
Your Netflix. Yeah, Trello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything is right. Like, there's red dots everywhere. but that's life. That's just how it is. So when people, so it's funny because when I'll go out and, oh, you're so hard to get in touch with, I show them. And I'm like, listen, this is life.
59 unread text messages.
Yeah, like it's just,
who's texting you this?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
How about, okay, so why the Gmail app and the Apple Mail app?
So here's the reason. Because Apple doesn't give you through Gmail, because through dailyhive.com, we've got it through Gmail.
Google Docs.
Google Docs. You can't get, Apple doesn't give you the push notification for Gmail. So then Gmail gives you the push notification. So that's why I say my phone is always there. That it'll always light up every single time I get an email. If I need to, if I see it that's interesting, I'll jump on it right away. But that's the only way that it works. Otherwise, I check my email once an hour, once every other hour.
So what are the apps you mostly check?
Slack.
Slack, okay.
Instagram.
Because in Slack you use it internally?
Slack is for work, so that's the biggest one.
Instagram.
Slack, Instagram. I barely use Snapchat anymore.
No, okay.
Facebook, Twitter. I guess
Spotify?
Spotify, all day long.
WhatsApp
now and then. There's too many group chats now. I've muted, like all my family chats are in there, and I just mute all of them.
Look at these people waiting for, like Darcy. Hey, it's Darcy. Did you get my email last week? Hi, can I text her back?
Text her back.
Okay, how about just a photo and just be like, here, let's just do this, see if she responds, okay? Just be like,
Do you
sorry.
know Darcy?
What's that? No.
Oh,
just be like, sorry. And then see what she says. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, well, at least she's getting a text back today. Oh, man, okay. So that's the life, that's the life, okay. So you could like go into a shell and like just disappear and get caught up, but you don't have time for that,
I've done that. That's what. Okay, so here's
like on a Saturday, Sunday, you disappear.
Yeah, that's what happens.
You hermit.
It'll be Sunday night. I'll be sitting there on the couch, in bed, on the desk, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna respond.
Are you a couch guy or bed? Which one?
Now more couch.
Couch, sit on the couch.
Yeah.
On your laptop?
Yeah.
On your lap? Okay.
Actually, no. Even open the iPad.
Yeah.
iPad with keyboard.
Really?
iPad Pro. It is one of the best things because you have no distractions outside of that.
Oh, that's
you have
a good
one window
point.
and one window only.
Because with the computer, you got so many things.
You can go tab, command tab to something else.
Yeah, but iPad you can't.
Oh, I mean you can, but no. I'm responding to one thing and one thing.
So you put the keyboard here,
iPad.
Yeah, okay.
I just have it. I could just tab.
Yeah.
I go with me even, and I was just.
And you get to inbox 0?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So here's the problem though: is like think of it from a sales funnel.
Yeah.
If you send an email to 100 people, or you send 100 emails, individually, you're gonna get responses. Yeah. So now,
Farhan wrote me back.
So think of it. You went from 200.
Yeah.
You just got rid and you went down to 100. Oh, tomorrow comes. You're up to like 300, 400, just because it's a normal day. All those people start replying. Yeah. Your inbox now goes to 500. Wow. So then all of a sudden you do it again, and it's just it's this vicious cycle.
Oh, wow. So what do you do?
You figure like you gotta tell me what you do. I need some secrets here.
Do you well I go off a whole like I either do something with the email, like I do an action, I have something to do, or I delegate it if it's delegatable. So maybe another writer, or I delegate it to someone on the team, or I delete it. So do delegate or delete.
It's hard for me to delete emails.
I archive. I'm an archiver.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Because what I love about the Gmail app is like you find everything. Yeah. So I archive everything. Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I know so and so.
I just like the DDD though thing, right? Do delete or do delegate or darchive, we could say. Yeah. So that's my go-to. But you're saying, but the problem is, it's true. Like I'll hermit up for a Saturday or a Sunday, and I'll get caught up on all the stuff. But the reason I like Saturday Sundays is that no one's gonna respond right away. So it's like tennis. I don't volley all these balls over, and then I get bombarded.
You just hit them over the fence.
But there is an app I saw where you can respond to all your emails, and then they just send it all at once.
Oh yeah. That's like through Boomerang.
Yeah.
So I used to do that.
But that's what gets
weird.
weird.
You know what? Like if.
You just try.
Yeah, you try it.
I'd try every
use
day.
them, and then I would schedule them all for 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But then people think, oh, you get all your emails at that time. So instead, I'm thinking, you know what? If I'm gonna email you at 10 o'clock at night, I'm gonna email you at 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. You don't need to respond, but I'll do it when I can.
Do you feel the pressure, or do you feel like if it's that important, they're gonna come back to me?
I mean, I have sent emails sometimes saying, hey, I totally lost this. It's been 4 months, and I wanted to apologize. Are you still interested?
Yeah.
Some people say yes, some people say no.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
But not like the New Year's baby. I got the New Year's baby story.
No.
Yeah. But like stuff that's ongoing, like evergreen content, evergreen brands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like what we're trying to do now, we're still, to me, we're still a baby. We're still in startup phase, even though it's been many years. So you're trying to figure out ways to make things better. You're trying to figure out processes, whether that's bring in people that can get things fixed and make things better, or whether that's you invest in things. And so you went from a time where you didn't want to spend money because you didn't have money, to a time where you still don't have money, but you don't want to have to spend it. So you're trying to figure out ways that that you can do that. Right now, this is the weirdest thing, but a month and a half ago, we came up with this thing where we said, okay, enough of this app, enough of that app. We're just going to go old school Google Sheet style.
So no more Trello, no more Basecamp?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And
really?
so our editorial
Did you try all those?
We tried Trello for a long time. Half of our team used it, half of our team didn't. Right now,
Google Sheets.
Google Sheet.
Google Sheets is the bomb, though. Like most PR agencies I talk to use Google Sheets for
It
all their
is
tracking.
so messed up, and all I said to everyone is, listen, we're going back to simplicity. Yeah, it's free. We're
simple.
We're gonna be upgrading in the near future and probably the next few months to Airtable.
Okay.
Which is, if you haven't used it, one of the greatest tools.
Really? Airtable.
It is like Google Sheets on steroids.
Really?
Where think Trello meets Google Sheets.
Really? Okay.
It meets kind of a Gantt chart-like-ish thing.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the coolest things.
Okay.
It's so robust
Yeah.
that you can tag people, you can add things, you can add cards, you can move things around, you can look at it like an Excel sheet.
Wow. You're just waiting. You're just waiting to.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big change.
Yeah.
Big change, but small but big.
Yeah, it'll make a big difference, I imagine. Yeah.
So right now, Google Sheets is what it is. I love, and everyone has said it. We love being able to just see everything. Yeah. We can change colors.
Yes.
I don't want to have to like grab something, move it somewhere else, and then click here and go back to that sheet. It's like nope, one sheet and one sheet only.
And we all know the basic understanding of Excel.
Right.
It's innate in us.
Yep.
So yeah.
Oh, we should.
It's in our resumes. Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, right?
Do you remember those days? Oh, what are you good at? I'm proficient in Microsoft Office.
Oh yeah, that's the best. Question for you. Another question. MRP data. Do you know that? Do you guys care about that?
Do I care? No.
Okay.
But I know you care. Probably.
Some of our clients care,
Yeah.
but not many of them are aware of it or are as educated as maybe the general public. Like Canadian Public Relations Society really cares and wants us to because I think it's their thing. Yeah. Yeah. So do you know your points for Daily Hive?
I know our points are next to none.
Really?
Yeah, it's been going through some issues, and we've said, you guys need to take a look at this. I think all these scoring systems. Yeah.
Because just for those that don't know what is an MRP, how would you describe it to the?
Tells you where everyone ranks. In
media
terms of
rating.
traffic.
They call it media rating points.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
See, I don't even know that.
Yeah.
I don't need to know.
So they just automatically put you in there and give you a point system and give you and tell people your reach.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
But how did they get that data?
I've heard our reach. It was in the realm of about 20,000
on MRP data.
Yep. And I'm like, listen, we do about 2.5 million uniques a month.
Yeah.
So 20,000 is grossly less than that.
Yeah.
But it's this weird one where I say, listen, if you want our data, I will show you. I will give you access.
Yeah.
We can have a conversation. Yeah. I think it's that evil, that double-edged sword where on one hand, there's people who want it and they need it, and that's who they report to, and they have to show those numbers. On the other, it's do you want to spend the money? Do you want to have to do all these different things? So it's a tough one. It's one that I let our sales side deal with a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. On the PR side, hey, you know what? You want to see our numbers? Hey, here's a combination. We have over 1.2 million followers across all social, across all our networks. Do you want it? You want to work with us? Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. And speaking of Dash This, one of our sponsors, we use Dash This to report to our clients what's happening with what's going on. One of them being, web traffic. And then what we set up in Google Analytics is called Google Goals. So for example, a building developer will show where all the web traffic's coming from, Facebook ads, Google ads, and then we'll show all the editorial traffic that's coming from. And every time we do something with Daily Hive, we not only get great traffic, but we get converting traffic, which is the qualified leads. So you actually have qualified readers, which we judge based on, okay, so they trust you enough to actually make a decision once they click on the link. Whereas some sites maybe will get us lots of traffic, but it's not very qualified traffic, or it just bounces right away, whereas your traffic continues to be quality. So that's the pudding we see, but MRP right now, we're going through a process of they're pitching us MRP. It's $2,100 a year to become a member or have access to it. And we've never had a client ask for it, so
Yeah.
we're just curious about this whole MRP status and where do they get their data
I
from?
mean, look, I'm not going to badmouth any business or anyone in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on one hand it's necessary. On the other, I'll give you access. You can take a look at our dashboard and see what we've got on the analytics side. I think the one thing is exactly that. What we try to do is we strive for engaging content. We want our users, our readers, our consumers. We want engagement. That's what we do well, and that's what we do, I would say, better than almost anyone in the industry in the country.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to get continually better and better at. If you value that, the one thing I love is when we go places and you get people like you who say, hey, I read you guys on a daily basis. Yeah. Well, if you're reading us on a daily basis, why wouldn't you want your client in us on a daily? Like, that doesn't make much sense. So I love when we are able to do that. That's what we want is we want the quality. We want engaging and engagement. We want to build that community so that whether it's online or offline, it's happening, it's converting. Whether it's a conversion from a developer and someone wants to buy a home to someone wants to go to a new coffee shop, to a new restaurant, they see that Cineplex is giving some free movies or that someone is giving $3 poke bowls. Like every single thing like that, we want to be able to connect everyone.
The statue that was up on the bridge.
Huh?
Yeah.
I remember
that. You were the first to break that story.
Yeah.
I remember when Twitter was the first to break a story about a plane that crashed in the water. I don't know if you were on Twitter way back in the day.
Yeah, that was way back.
Yeah, and they got really famous because it was like Twitter was the first to report this, and then they called it the Twitter news feed, and how Twitter is, a news feed to be watching. And so I feel like with you guys, that's been a similar thing where you guys are the site to watch for the breaking news, the statue on the bridge, which we'll just call it that.
Yeah, we will not go more into that.
You can Google it later. Statue. Was it bridge, right?
Statue. It was. It wasn't bridge. There was one near Olympic Village.
It was on a SkyTrain station, maybe. It was the Devil statue.
It was the Devil statue.
Just Google Devil statue, Vancouver, Daily Hive, and it's still there, probably in the archives, maybe.
It's in the archives, I think, unless Google actually hit us up. AdSense didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't blur out enough.
Okay.
Of a statue.
Yeah, just warning, parental warning, Jacqueline. Just make sure you have a parent with you. It is inappropriate not for all viewers. So
if it's still there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we even talking about? All I'm thinking now is the statue.
Sorry. But you guys were breaking news.
So that's what we try is that we try to stay on top of everything.
Yeah.
The pro is that you're on top of it all.
Yeah.
The con is you have to stay plugged in at all times, nonstop, 24/7.
Because the expectation's there, the pressure's there.
Yep. And so we've set that bar so high for ourselves that we can't screw that up.
You're not 24/7 though, your office, right?
No,
people in there.
No.
Okay.
And so here's the nice thing about being national.
Yeah.
We have people who are awake on Eastern hours, so from 5:00 a.m. Pacific time until, let's say, could even be 10:00 Pacific time.
Yeah.
We're awake. Yeah. We're online. We're working. So it's nice that we're able to cover the country that way. And so we're trying to stay always relevant, always trying to find stuff that people are talking about and engaging with, whether that's a SkyTrain shutdown, whether it's new public art, whether there's a new concert that just got announced. Whatever it is, we're trying to stay on top of it so that we make your life easy. You go online, whether it's social, whether it's on the website, there's always something new for you. You don't have to do anything. You just come to us. We give you everything.
Wow. And would you say Daily Hive has birthed a couple new kind of brands, would you say? Like the food brand site and then now the development site?
Yeah, and so what we realized is that we've become so big. It is what it is, and we do too much content, which is a great thing. We do over 50 to 60 pieces of content across our network every single day. Most people don't see that. They just think, I see your 4 or 5 stories a day. I'm like, no, we do like 10 times that. And so what we realize is that there's different tones for different parts of the site. Our food section, which is now called Dished, it's more fun. It's more lively. You want to go eat somewhere. You want to go drink somewhere. You want to connect with friends over a meal. And so this is that place. And so we have fun with it. It's a very fun vibe, very fun voice. And so last June, we launched that, and that's called Dished. It's just straight on Daily Hive. You can click on Dished and you go to it. Just recently, a couple months ago, we launched Urbanized, and that was our way to put real estate development, urban issues, community development, all of that all into one.
Yeah.
And so that's a little bit more, not necessarily serious, but it's more talking about community from a serious lens. Let's talk about how we can make this better.
Yeah.
So those are the first two. We're launching more.
Okay.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
From an optic standpoint even, it would just look like, you've done two, what's next?
Yeah.
So we've got more that are coming. We're looking at ways that, how do we just build different brands?
Yeah.
And I think that's the way the future is going. How do I get it a little bit more personalized?
Yeah.
I don't want to read everything, which is true.
Yeah.
I take off my hat from what I do on a day-to-day basis, but I like arts, but there's certain parts of arts that I like.
Yeah.
I love sports.
Yes.
I love food.
Yeah.
I love business, but only some parts of business. There's all these different things. I like lifestyle, things to do with lifestyle, health and fitness and wellness, but I'm not necessarily so big into fashion and shopping. And so there's things that I like and things I don't like.
Yeah.
Rather than coming to just dailyhive.com, I don't want to come and get a variety of everything.
Yeah.
What if I was just to follow certain niches and say,
Like Dished.
I can follow Dished, I can follow Urbanized. Cool, I love food. All I want is Dished. Give me Dished all day long.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're becoming a little bit more customized. So if you were to say, listen, I just want food and tell me everything in the world of food, follow Dished.
Yeah.
You'll get everything you want. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Follow it and you'll see it in your feed nonstop. I love it on Instagram. All I see is, I love it, but it's not good for my health because all I see is good looking food pictures all day long. So on one side, you're like, damn, I want to go eat all the time.
Yes.
And on the other, you're thinking, no, I can't do that.
Yeah. So question for you, are you a Marvel or DC guy?
I mean,
or either?
I would say kind of more Marvel, maybe.
So SpiderMan, you know SpiderMan?
Yep.
Do you ever feel like you want to just channel your inner J. Jonah Jameson? Do you ever get in that mood? Do you know who that character is? Spider-Man's boss, ran the Daily Bugle.
Oh, Bugle. Oh, that guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
He was a jerk.
Yeah, do you ever get in the mood? You ever get like grumpies or like the hangries and you just...
Do you get angry and grumpy?
I get hangry if I don't eat, and yeah, I don't go crazy like J. Jonah Jameson. But I'm thinking as an editor editor of a news feed though, do you ever feel like you want to channel, you have some connection there because you have similar careers?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But no, that's like
you keep
opposite.
it chill.
Yeah, I try to be nicer about things. I try to be the happy, happy.
It's not as stressful in your world, maybe, compared to the newspaper grind.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were more, that kind of world is more focused on the day-to-day news. I think
stop the presses! Let's get to the press. Yeah.
What is that headline? Why did you put it on the front page? What a stupid picture!
Get another picture of Spider-Man, Peter!
No.
Yeah, okay. No. Okay.
No.
So speaking of how you run your office, you unashamedly talk about being a smiley. It's on your Twitter feed. You're involved in the community. You give stories about it. How do you feel that your faith influences how you run the day-to-day operations of what you do?
I mean, I don't think it does.
Okay.
From a day-to-day, I don't think anyone. From what we do, you try to take all hats off, take all bias, take everything off.
Yeah.
The one thing for me that my faith has done is instill that sense of community, which is why I've probably used the word community. It should be on a bingo sheet today because it's probably been hit about 50 times. But it's all about strengthening community. It's helping one another. The thing that I love when people say, "What do you love the most about what you do?" It's the cool stuff, I've met the Prime Minister. We've sat down, we've talked for a while. We've done an interview. Like we've done some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Done some really, really cool stuff. But the thing I love the most is being able to say we can shine a spotlight on people in the community that need it the most. Whether that's they need help with their business, they need to sell a few products, they open up a restaurant and it's dying, or their restaurant, like whatever it is, they're doing something cool. I look back at the Pride series that we've done every year, and it was a coming out series. There are a lot of comments that come saying, "Why are you still putting this crap out?" On the other, you get the comments that say, "Hey, I've been struggling with this for a long time, and reading other people's stories about what they've done, it's helped me now that I can come out." Or I'm dealing with mental illness issues, mental health issues, sorry. And I need others around me that can help me with that kind of stuff. And so it's using that community that's around us to say, whatever you're going through, someone else is going through. We're not unique as much as we'd like to think we are. Everyone else has experienced exactly what you've gone through. There are others out there. And if we can be that platform to help you find others, that to me is where we win. That to me is where we succeed. So that's the thing that I love the most, and that's where that sense of community comes in. I hate seeing others down and falling. If we can help them, we will help them 100% of the time. All we need to do is know about it. Hit us up and just say, "Hey, I need help, or I know someone that needs help.
Yeah.
They're never going to come and say that they need it, but I know they need it.
And send it to one of the writers, would you say?
Send it to one of the writers. Send it to me,
Yeah.
Farhan at dailyhive.com.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I said my email is plastered in as many places as it can.
Yeah.
If it's great enough, then we will see it, and it'll get passed on, and we will make it work.
And those with great power have great responsibility.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So one more question that came from the community that I don't want to forget is, will you ever go print?
No.
Okay. And
It doesn't. In some cases, it makes sense. In some cases,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
I would never shut anything down
Yeah.
and say a straight up no, which is why it was a
Yeah,
long
I'm curious.
no.
Yeah. I like that no. That was it was said. There
Yeah.
was a lot going on in that no. Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
I feel like there are many things. You always keep the door open.
Yeah.
If done right, I think it works.
Yeah.
I think it's understanding that where everything needs to go.
Yeah.
There are some cases where newspapers make sense. There
Yeah.
are some cases that they really don't make sense.
Yeah.
My grandparents read newspapers.
Yeah.
They also read Daily Hive, but they read newspapers.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. There are
Yeah.
people who need magazines and want magazines. They want to put on their coffee table.
Yeah.
They want it to look nice in that case. They don't
Yeah.
care if they're getting it every week or
Yeah.
every month,
Yeah.
but they want a nice stack there
Yeah.
so that they have something to read.
Yeah. You saw that in our lobby
Yep.
when you came in. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think you have to realize where everything is going.
Yeah.
There's always, just like with online, with podcasts, videos,
Yeah.
written stuff,
Yeah.
there are so many ways to go about it. It's just a matter of what makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Who's engaging with this? Who's consuming
Yeah.
it? And if you can put it in the right hands and give it to the right people, then
Yeah.
it makes sense. So I would never close that door, but a lot of times it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So we're a year from now sitting here, or I run into you in the big city of Vancouver, or we're in Montreal by chance because you're there visiting your Montreal office. What does Daily Hive look like a year from now?
Ooh, I think we're in more cities.
Okay.
We've got more verticals.
More
We've got-
across Canada?
more cities, period.
Okay,
I
okay.
think we're in more we have more verticals,
Yeah.
more branded sections.
Yes.
We've got more staff. I think we're doing more cool stuff. I think
Yeah.
we're tackling more problems. This
Yeah.
year, to me, I want us to look at what other problems we have out there.
Like in the world in general?
More in our community, but
Your
how do we
commu- like
take
in-
global problems and solve them
poverty?
on a local level? Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, homelessness is one.
Yeah.
Affordability is a
Yeah.
huge one.
Okay.
Transportation and infrastructure.
And you want
is
to
another.
tackle that on? And just,
Yeah, tackle it in a way that how do we talk about it more?
Yeah.
I think there's two issues that we talked about
Yeah.
a lot over the past few years. One was the liquor laws, which
Yeah.
was a provincial issue. The other was patio hours, which is a municipal issue.
Yeah.
We talked about each one constantly,
Yeah.
nonstop, along with other media, but we
Yeah.
did it nonstop, coming from that younger voice.
Yeah.
Eventually, laws have changed.
Oh yeah. The court of public opinion spoke, right? And it pressured the
Yeah.
folks.
And what we have heard, and I have heard specifically
Yeah.
from politicians, is if media is talking, and,
Yeah.
and this is no secret.
Yeah.
If media is talking about something and it makes its way to City Hall
Yeah.
and it makes its way
Oh,
to
yeah.
council, they have to listen to it.
Well, Christy
So,
Clark and the bridge, right? The whole Lululemon
Yeah. Oh,
yoga day, right?
disaster.
Yeah.
And that's one of so many disasters across all levels.
Yeah.
And so if we can find something that enough people want to talk about,
Yeah.
right now, affordability is one of the biggest issues facing our generation.
Yeah.
I have friends who can't afford to live
And
here
that's both
anymore.
Toronto and Vancouver.
Everywhere across
Yeah.
the country.
Okay.
It is a big issue.
Okay, it's just more well publicized in these two cities, would you say?
Yeah,
or-
I would say it's being publicized everywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, the two big cities for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And so how do we talk about that in such a way to say, it's not just saying, we need a solution.
Yeah.
But what are the solutions?
Yeah.
Maybe there's solutions out there that haven't been talked about. Why haven't they been talked
And
about?
not just being mean and sassy, being like, buy less avocado toast, right? Which
Yeah.
you see out there.
Yeah, but also buy less avocado toast.
Yeah, okay.
You should not
Yeah.
be spending $10 to $15 on avocado toast. Go buy an avocado for $1 to $1.50.
Yeah.
Put on some toast.
Yeah.
You know what? Come over. I'll make it for you. You give me $2. I will make you avocado toast all
Yeah.
day long. I will turn a profit. I will slowly do it.
Okay. What do you think about memes? And
Memes are the best.
And what's its role in Daily Hive and in news publications?
we use memes. We use Giphy through Slack.
Yeah.
That is one of the best ways to communicate.
Yeah.
It takes emojis to a next level.
Yes. Yeah.
If you look at my Twitter feed,
Yeah.
it is packed with memes and gifs. GIFs. I call them GIFs.
Yeah.
Do you call them GIFs? or
GIFs. I'm a GIFs.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. We should have started with that,
Yeah.
so we could have continued this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's littered with that.
Okay.
Because it's fun.
Yes.
I feel like those two things, they make life less serious.
Yes.
And if I can put a GIF out there and
Yeah.
say, hey, this is how I'm feeling,
Yeah.
life doesn't need to be that serious.
Yeah.
This is me showing it's not.
Sometimes I don't know what to say in reply to some emails I get, so I just send them a GIF because I hope they get something out of it. Not like they don't read something negatively to it, but just something like, hey, here's two people high-fiving because it's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I love your story. Instead of giving a thumbs up, why don't you give a double thumbs up? Or
in a GIF.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So and this is just kind of the last question that came from the community, and we're gonna wrap up after this. There's some people who want to start their own news publication or bloggers out around the world. What's your biggest advice that you give them when they're trying to go from like, we're there and we're going, but how do I break through that glass ceiling? What's it take?
I would say this for any industry, any company. It is difficult. It is so difficult. The amount of companies that I've seen fail in the past 5 years.
And established ones,
Yep.
right? That we're watching die around us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think expectation is that it's going to be easy. And this is with our industry. This is with anyone. Oh, it's easy. I can write stuff on the internet.
I can be a YouTube star.
I can be a YouTuber. I can open up a restaurant. I can open up. I can be a graphic. I can print T-shirts. I can do all these different things. Anyone can do anything.
Yeah.
But it's damn hard.
Yeah.
It's being consistent every single day. Now things have changed. My schedule is very different than it used to be. 3-4 years ago, it was working 6.5 days a week for 10 to 14 hours a day. Yeah. Every single day. Yeah. That's how it was. I was in school and it was working. And then once school was done and you're working, and that's what life was like. Yeah. Because you had to do it. What you don't realize until you started is that it's just you. Yeah. It's you and a couple others. And I got the questions. Well, why didn't you get someone else to do it? Right, because they had a whole bunch to do. Oh yeah. So you can't say, "Can you get something done for me?" Because they would say, like, "Yeah, right. Yeah. What are you thinking?" Yeah. It's on you. Yeah. It's up to you to make it. Yeah. It's all up to you. So I think the biggest thing is that it's everything, whatever you want to do, it's so difficult. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. Life isn't going to hand you lemons. Yeah. You're not going to make lemonade that easily. You're going to have to go. Someone's going to give you like a little ladder. Yeah. You're going to have to go climb the ladder. The tree is going to be up there. You got to go pick the lemons. Lemons are going to be rotten, so you're going to have to wait a few months, pick the new lemons. You're going to have to, like, it's going to get to that point. Yeah. That's how it is. It is nonstop work. Yeah. But you have to be okay with it. You have to be prepped for that. Okay. And it's the mindset. It's all about that mind over matter, thinking that, that you can do it. That's awesome.
Well, everyone, this was Farhan. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Really nice. He traveled all the way out to historic Fort Langley. Thank you for everyone for joining the Marketing Jam podcast. We'll see you again next time.